Hi everybody. I hit go live and forgot that I needed to still go get wood so that I can still have a fire. So you can probably just see the smoke right now. And I've got my computer on the right side of me, so if you see me looking away, it's because I'm looking at your comments, because your comments are really hard to read on my phone screen. So, hello everybody. Hello Vinny, hello Bruce, El Pistapo, riding on Ruby. I'm gonna try to, hello Warren. I'm gonna try to put my phone kind of like this. I just got back from a ride on my Dyna. So, hello Sterling Wheel, thank you. Am I making it? Yes, I am going to make it to Forgotten Angels. That's the plan. Anyways. Hello Joseph. Hey guys. So I just got back from a ride. I went to Tim Hortons and actually met somebody for the first time. So yeah, I'm trying to like meet new people around here. And it's 5:30 here. 5:30 where I'm at. To the store for a gallon of milk. Milk is like, man, for a gallon of milk here, it's like $5 or $6 now. So my hair is getting long finally. Like my hair's been so short for so long, but it's finally like started to grow out. Actually, I burnt a bunch of it off in a fire a couple years ago. Not like a house fire or anything like that, but I was at like a pig roast, a biker camp out, and my hair ended up in the fire because I was trying to put a pallet on the fire, and yeah, it didn't work out. Yeah, I wasn't really paying attention to the smell. All I could smell was the smoke and everything. The wind, I went to throw a pallet onto the fire, and then the wind gusted up at the same time, and it singed off like this much of my hair. So, that was not good. Yeah, it was not good. But yeah, how's everybody else doing? I don't like the way my phone camera looks. I feel like it kind of makes things look a little weird, but that is what it is, I guess. And yeah. Anyways, how is everybody doing? Is it still riding weather? It's a little bit chilly here. It's supposed to be warmer out tomorrow, like 20 degrees Celsius here tomorrow, which is like 60 in the 60s for Fahrenheit. So it's supposed to be kind of warm tomorrow. So I'm planning on going for a ride. So I'm planning, yeah, I know I'm weird, but thanks. Planning on going for a ride tomorrow. There's a back road I want to go down, and I've driven the back road a couple times over the years, but I actually have been wanting to go to ride my bike down it for a while, and this smoke is blowing all in my face. Oh, I might need to move. Well, no, these Fireside lives are a little hectic. So it's been the 80s in this month, but it's been in the 80s for the last 2 days. That's nice. Okay, I might need to move something. Probably this fire pit. Which it's broken, so I'm not going to be able to move it that easily. I might have to move this whole operation. Sorry guys, bear with me. it is a live stream. These live streams are always a little hectic when you try to have a fire. It's like real life. Maybe that's why people like the live streams, because it's like real life. See, if I actually prepared my fires properly, instead of just lighting them, it would probably go a little better for me. Open the garage door so you guys actually get like a view that's not just the white garage door. Okay, is anybody still there? I can see that some of you are still there. I'm still here. Thanks for hanging in. There we go. How's that? Back a little bit. I swear though, the smoke just follows me around. Like, it doesn't matter like where I sit or how I sit or where the fire is. It's like the smoke will eventually come to wherever I am. So, it's only a matter of time, guys. It's only a matter of time. The world is, well, the world is God's, but I'm in it. And yeah, trying to do whatever I can do, I guess. Where is the... Yeah, where there's smoke, there's no mosquitoes. I guess that's a good way to look at it. I think it's too cold for mosquitoes here now anyway. Hey. Okay, I'm gonna grab my laptop so I can... a little bit better. Really hard to see your comments. I just got home from a ride and I wanted to do a live stream today, so I've been planning on doing a live stream all day today. But then I went and met somebody for coffee and I ended up being there talking for like longer than I thought I would be, which isn't a bad thing, because that means that at least it was not a bad meetup. So yeah, I ended up being there for like 2 hours talking. So I kind of rushed home and ended up doing the live like in a rush because I knew it was getting late for some people. So, but yeah, the person I met up with does ride, yeah. And so I've been trying to like meet people, more people here my age who ride, and it's just like it's difficult. I feel like it's difficult to meet people who are kind of into like what I do, but not like party animals, I guess. And hello, Jack White. And yeah, so I don't know. And especially being like a Christian who rides. No, I'm not blushing. My face is red because I just got back from a cold ride. Yeah, especially being like a Christian who rides. I find it really difficult to meet other Christian riders who aren't like in their 60s or 50s or whatever, right? Like, it's hard to meet people my age who are Christians who ride and who are like actually like kind of just more into what I'm doing, I guess. So it's your first Forgotten Angels camp out for someone with hardcore social anxiety. You know what? I just found a screw in my driveway, which I'm not gonna let that sit there till it pops a tire. Any advice for someone with social anxiety? Okay, so Sterling Wheel, my first time going to the camp out, well, I always go by myself because, like, no one, I don't know anybody in Canada who wants to, like, buy plane tickets for a motorcycle camp out and make a trip with me. So my very first time going, I kind of felt like I was a little worried because I didn't know anybody. But one thing I can say is that everybody there is, everyone that I met there, like the regular people, like they're all super chill and like they're really welcoming. So I think it's super easy to be, to just kind of like find your comfortable, like, you know, somewhere where you're comfortable. Like if you want to hang out in your campsite and not really like socialize too much or whatever, like you're not going to have a bunch of people like in your face, like forcing you to socialize. So I guess that it was just nice because I was able to just kind of be at my own pace when it came to like meeting people and all that. Hello, Merle Dooms. Oh, hello. Well, thanks for popping in. The sun's already gone down here. Actually, it's been cloudy all day, so it's kind of hard to tell. But yeah, it has gone down. Your best friends, see, so they'll be there. I think you'll be fine, Sterling Wheel. I don't think that you're gonna have a hard time. And if you do end up feeling like you want to get away from people, like you can always go back to wherever you're camping at, because it is a big enough chunk of property that you kind of end up having your own space. But I might not even be the best person to ask because I've only been twice, and both of the ones I went to were really small. So you didn't, like, I don't feel like I got like the full effect. Everyone kept telling me that I was like at a really small ones. So maybe, yeah, maybe some other people will have different experiences there, because apparently like they're the one that they had the time before the first time that I went was like 500 people, which is pretty big. Don't look at who just showed up. Hello, Journey of Jerry. Run, it's a pirate? Who's a pirate? I'm not a pirate. But biker, I always have said like bikers, like real club bikers, are they're basically like land pirates in my opinion. Jerry's a pirate. What's Jerry pirating? Whose boat have you commandeered recently? What even is a scallywag? That's kind of what I wonder. Like, what even is a scallywag? I could probably Google it. Truckers are also land pirates? Maybe. I guess they do a lot of traveling. I've always thought of my grandpa's story. My dad's story, actually. But my grandpa's story, too. But my grandpa's not here to tell it. And when my dad was a kid, then my grandpa would always travel with a shotgun in the car, and like back then it was like all acceptable and okay, like in the 60s. And well, I mean, like lots of people still do, but I mean, he didn't have to have it hidden. But the HA was also like quite prominent, and they were different a little bit back then too, like so where they would actually pull people over and do whatever they would do to them, rob them, do whatever, right? Like, I guess that's why I get the idea in my mind that they're land pirates. And they would, so anyways, my dad's story from being a kid is memory of driving in their family car with grandpa, and this group of HAs pulled up behind them, and instead of passing them, they just kind of stayed on their tail. But my grandpa just like picked up his shotgun off like from wherever he had it in the car and put it up on the dash of the car. Oh, it wasn't the HA. It was a different club then, Outlaw Club. Anyways, and Grandpa just puts it up on the dash, and when they saw that, then they all just passed by. So, yeah, I guess that's kind of where I get my land pirate impression from when it comes to bikers and stuff. Am I making s'mores? No. I actually don't even really like s'mores. And hello, Tim. And Rod. Yeah, I don't actually really like s'mores. I like, there is safety in numbers for sure. My wrench ability. Hello, Kevin. I've actually been working on my, my Yamaha, my XT250. I took it all apart. I stripped it down. So the little cafe, right, I was calling it my service bike for a little while there because I had that big battery strap to the back of it. Hello, Eric. And I actually just striped it down completely. I'm going to convert it back into an enduro, which I've been so torn up about because, like, I really just didn't want, I really like it the way that it is. Like, that's what, like, I started riding on, and I kind of don't want to, like, take it out of, like, I don't want to change the way that it looks, but I also want a dirt bike. I want to get into dirt biking, and I don't have the money to go buy a dirt bike right now, so it's like I should just put the dirt bike together that I have and ride that around. But I also don't want to drop it because it's like a 1980, it's a 1980 XC250, Gavin. So I don't really want to drop it because the tank is in really nice shape still. I think it's got like a little dent, but yeah, I don't know. I've been kind of torn between like buying it or building it back into a dirt bike or just leaving it the way that it is. Okay, Jerry, so do I, but I didn't have any meat to fry. I've got hot dogs in my freezer, and I was kind of tempted, but they're frozen, so it will be no yummy meat snacks happening on this fire. Which I should probably stir it about a little bit. When you drop something, you own it. Yeah, I've never actually dropped a bike. Well, I mean, I crashed that mini bike, but does that count as dropping it? If you just crash it and then it falls over? I don't know if that really is quite the same thing. I've almost dropped bikes, but, oh, actually, I did one time. Actually, yeah, no, I have dropped a bike before, but I'm not telling anybody those stories. Actually, the first time I ever dropped a bike, Bacon J saw me, oh, Friday. What was I doing on Friday? I don't remember. Was I in my truck? Or in a car? I feel like I was in my truck. I mean, not in a car, on my bike or in a truck. I feel like it was in my truck. Grill frozen dogs, go for science. I would have to like go inside and dig them out of my freezer. You guys would all be sitting here alone waiting for me to go dig frozen hot dogs out of my freezer. Shoot, I totally lost my train of thought with that hot dog comment. Jerry, what the heck? Can I wheelie? I've never wheelied before, but I want to learn how to wheelie. Oh, I was going to tell a story about the first bike that I ever dropped. And whose TS250? Mine is, oh wait. Okay, so I've got a Yamaha XT250, which I'm converting back into an enduro from what it was. And then I've got two TY250s. which will eventually be trial spikes. It's for science, Red. I'm not a scientist, but I can't just go inside and abandon everybody for hot dog science. Maybe next time. I can practice wheelies on the... I would definitely not practice wheelies on the FXR. If I was gonna practice wheelies on anything, it would be something tiny and light. Okay, first time I ever dropped a bike. I was working at Harley Davidson, and I was a lot tech there. So the lot techs basically do everything that is like a waste of time for the actual techs. So at the dealership I was working at, we washed the bikes after they were serviced, kept the shop clean, kind of thing. Hello, Ozark Bill. So the lot tech, yeah, so it's basically our job just to like keep the shop clean, make sure there's no oil spilled on the floor, you know, make sure that the slip tank for the fuel is filled up with fuel and different things like that, uncrate the new bikes and do whatever. So anyways, we had this whole lineup, like it was a busy summer, and we had like this whole lineup of bikes who just were like waiting to be picked up by their owners. And there was this one Road Glide. It was a flat black Road Glide, and it had like a couple big scrapes down the saddlebags. Like it wasn't in great shape or anything like that. And I had just started working there, so I hadn't been there for very long, and I was just kind of getting used to pushing the big bikes, moving the big bikes around. So I wasn't super comfortable moving any of the Road Glides and stuff around. And back at that time, I was the only lot tech. So it was just me. I didn't have anyone to help me. Like, and when I was just kind of starting out, I had to get used to, I had to like a lot of times get the guys who worked in the shop to help me move bikes, because I wasn't used to moving the big bikes yet. So this one customer came in to pick up his Road Glide, and my manager, like the boss, she's like, I have to go get this bike out of the back for the customer. And I'm trying to tell her like, okay, well, I need help to move it. Like I don't feel confident like to move it on my own. And so the problem was that I had to back it out of where it was parked. Morning, Hippie Trev. I had to back it out of where it's parked and kind of like back it up and turn it at the same time. And it was on a slight bit of a hill in the parking lot. And then there was like a concrete wall like right behind. So I had to like be able to turn it really sharp to be able to back it up and not hit the concrete wall. So hello Pete and Tyke. And anyway, so I back it up, and I have to like turn the bars like all the way just to avoid the wall behind me. And so then the right side of the bike was like facing downhill by the time I got it backed up enough. And then whatever happened, I like was hardly touching the ground on that side. And then just the way the bars were turned and with it facing downhill and everything like that, when I came to a stop, like I think I just maybe I put the front brake on a little bit too hard or something like that, but the whole weight of the bike all just started to go down on that side, and I didn't even really drop it. I kind of just slowly laid it down because the weight shifted and I wasn't ready to catch it, and everything was like facing downhill, so it fell over. And then I went and I got like a couple of the mechanics to come and help me pick it up, and I told my manager that, well, I didn't actually even get a chance to tell my manager, because the mechanic who helped me picked it up, he just hopped on it and rode it to the front to where the customer was, and then told the customer that it got dropped without saying anything to the manager or anything like that. So then the manager comes to the back, and she was like so mad. She's like, what, you like tell me as soon as you drop a bike, blah blah blah. Like, she was so mad at me, and I was like, I didn't even get a chance to tell you, because he just like, he wrote it and went and told the customer, like, so anyways, the customer like blamed us for these massive scratches they were down his saddlebags. The bike came in with these massive scratches that were obviously, these scratches were made while the bike was moving. And I don't even think there was a mark on the bike from me, because of how slowly I laid it down, and the bottom of his saddlebags was all scratched up already too, like he dropped it before. So anyways, but because those specific scratches were not, there was no note made of those when it came in for service. There was no way for us to prove that they were already there. So then the shop ended up having to pay to repaint his saddlebags, which yeah, it was just really dumb. But that was the first time I ever dropped a bike. And since then, I almost dropped my shovel head coming up my driveway here for the first time. And I had to like stand over it and hold it up. It was the same kind of scenario where it stalled actually at the very top of the driveway, and I was turning to get into the driveway. So I was like kind of facing downhill. So when it stalled, then I like started to go over that way, and I had to like stand over top of my bike and hold it up. And luckily I had my phone, so I just like got my phone to call my sister who was in the house, and she came and helped me pick it up, and it was just ridiculous. Thank goodness I did not drop it all the way. So yeah, that's my stories. Hi Pete and Steffi. I said hi already, but hello again. Yeah, I'm just looking at your guys' comments. Did you get or pray for a new guy? I hope. Did I get what? For a new guy? Pray for a new guy? I don't really know. I don't understand the question, or if it's a question. Most riders have dropped their bike, probably. Okay, if you've dropped your bike, put your hand up. Guys, how many people have actually dropped their bike? Hey, see, I told you, eventually the smoke will just become coming this way. It's like blowing at me right now. Yeah, my hand's up. I've dropped. Actually, well, I guess I did drop it. There was another time I almost dropped my shovel head. Both times it was like not all the way on the side. It was just enough on the side, and if it wouldn't have been for my ammo can that I have there, I probably would have dropped it all the way, because the ammo can was kind of just like helping it not to fall over all the way, which is not good, but it's better than it falling over all the way. And it didn't wreck the bracket because I never actually let all the weight go onto the ammo can. So I've never actually dropped it all the way onto its side. Thank goodness, because I would be very sad if I did, because I would really wreck stuff if I did that. But I have like halfway dropped it. So oh shoot, I hit a parked truck one time. I don't know how fast it was going though, because I just whiskey throttled from basically a standstill. And I've told that story a lot of times on my channel. Okay, I've never forgotten to put my kickstand down though. Yeah, that's something I've never done. Never actually forgotten that. Let's see if I can move my phone closer to my computer so it's not like I'm like looking away so bad. Flipped it. Yeah, see, so that's one thing about my little Yamaha is like I don't want to drop it because it's nice and old and cool. Like I want one of those dirt bikes that's got like a plastic gas tank so that I don't So if I drop it, it's like, it doesn't really matter that much. Hello, Mike. So I am live streaming from my phone this time. Last time I was on my computer, but I figured I'd do it from my phone because then I can pick my phone up and actually kind of show you guys some of the bikes a little bit if people are interested in seeing what I've been working on. I am gonna make a video of it anyways. But I find that the videos that I do of like not Harley work is they just don't really get watched. Like my last video I put out of me riding that Honda 3-wheeler and just hanging out in the woods, like I don't think it's a bad video, but people just don't click on the videos of mine that are not Harley videos. So hello Jim, Rayford, Jeff. So yeah, anyways, I'm gonna show you guys, I'm gonna do a video of my Yamaha, but I will show you guys that a little bit, what I've been working on. Okay, Bruce, I dropped my deluxe at the bottom of my driveway. All the silt forms there, and it was good and packed down coming home after about 450-mile ride. Oh, that sucks. Not a fun way to end a ride. You use a wall or a tree or anything, yeah. Those light bikes, like, it's super easy to just lean them on anything. If only we had hot dogs. Oh my gosh. I just don't want to go, like, chisel hot dogs apart right now. I probably should have done that before I started the video. If I would have known y'all wanted to watch me roast hot dogs so bad. Maybe I should start a second channel where it's just me roasting food over the fire and talking about food and eating food. I feel weird eating food on camera though. Like those people that have their YouTube channels that just revolve around eating food, I could never do that. It's just crazy to me. Just making a joke. I know you're making a joke. Yeah, HD stands for hot dog, not Harley Davidson. HD and HD. HDs and HDs. I could start a YouTube channel that was all about hot dogs and Harleys. Check out Cooking with Hippie Trev. What is it? Hot dogs all the time? Hot dogs and canned beans. Actually, Steve, Camping with Steve, always does like the typical like bachelor camping foods, I think, on his camping trips. You binge watch competitive eaters all the time? I just could never, hello Mike, I just could never actually have a channel doing that. Like just eating on for people to watch. My day was good. I actually I stayed home this morning. I thought about going to church and then I didn't go to church. I stayed at home and I did a little bit of work on my Yamaha. And then I went out and met somebody for coffee. I'm trying to get to meet people around here. And so I put a post up in one of the Facebook groups, motorcycle groups in the area. And then I met somebody for coffee. Someone who's been trying to meet me he's been trying to meet me for a while. He saw my bike at one of the shows downtown, so he took a picture of it. And then that was before I was part of this Facebook group. And someone else told me about the post. And then I went and met him for coffee today for the first time. So it was pretty cool. And hopefully get to know some more people, like just the more people that I get to know, hopefully I'll be able to like kind of meet more people through the grapevine and stuff. Hello, Tony. You dropped your Road King on the gravel driveway in front of a bar called the Blue Moon on the Rio Grande. When you went to pick it up, you now have a hernia on your belly button. Oh my gosh. You gotta get help picking up your bikes or pick it up differently. I think that if you're picking your bike up, well, yeah, try to use your leg strength. and like pick it up like kind of behind from the back or whatever, like, and push it up more with your legs rather than lift it with your, yeah, with your stomach muscles. What about hanging out at a bike shop? Well, I don't normally just go hang out in people's workplaces because like everyone else there's usually working. So um I'm kind of just trying to meet people that I can. Actually, I did meet this one girl last time I went to Harley for their demo days. I did meet a girl there. So, but her bike's not on the road right now. Joel Hansen, I met him at the Forgotten Angels the one year. Joel, oh man, I've heard that spicy foods actually wreck your taste buds. A hernia, Davidson. I don't even actually have a church because I've just been kind of trying to find a church. So I've been going to a few different churches. The church I went to last Sunday, my bike was the only bike in the parking lot. There's one church that I've been to, or a couple churches I've been to where there's a couple other people who ride. But there's yeah, it's just, I don't know. I feel like I almost need to like, there needs to be like a whole separate group started just for more like young or like people in their 30s, like late 20s to like late 30s who ride, like Christian riders, I guess. I feel like would need to be like a separate like group. Yeah, Tony, I've never actually had to pick up a bike by myself before, but I have watched like videos of how to pick them up. Like, if you're like a girl, I guess it's obviously gonna be harder for a small girl to pick up a big bike. But that doodle on a motorcycle, she does videos like that of like how to pick them up. Who won't make it this off? Oh, Joel, what happened to him? Did he eat something bad or something? I mean, like, I wear whatever I want when I go to church. And if someone's going to have a problem with what I'm wearing in church, like, I'm not going to go to church in my pajamas because I feel like that's just zero class when you do that. But I mean, like, I'll go to church in my torn up jeans. It's like, people shouldn't be judging you because you're wearing jeans to church anyways. I'm not gonna go to a church where they expect you to dress in a suit and tie. Like, I'm sorry, I just won't. But so yeah. Well, that sucks for Joel. Yeah, he was supposed to be making it to this camp out. I was pretty sure that they said he was gonna be there. Biker churches, like, I feel like that kind of thing is way more prominent in the States than it is in Canada. Or at least in like my area of Canada, like there aren't any like specific biker churches. What kind of tunes do I like to listen to? I like a little bit of everything. So I did grow up in the 90s, so I've got like grew up in the 90s, but I was like raised around like old school rock and roll. But I also grew up during like hip hop and rap era. So I like a little bit of everything. Everything from like classical to like hardcore metal to like hip hop, rap, a little bit of country. I'd say though my go-to music, the thing that I can probably stand to listen to, the genre that I probably have like the most of would be like rock of some sort. I like I like grunge music too, so like I like some Nirvana and Pearl Jam. Foo Fighters. So that's some of like the newer kind of rock, I guess, or like 90s era rock that I like. But I also like older rock, like 60s. Like I like a little bit of Rolling Stones. I like Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd. Um, I like some Jimi Hendrix, like some Ozzy. I like a little bit of a lot of these bands. Hello, Dave. Okay, wait. Yeah, pray that he can still make it. I will be praying for him. Poor Joel. That really sucks. I think I missed something else though here. Hello, Mr. G Rides. I think I missed what Ron said. Oh, God doesn't care what you wear. It's what's in your heart. Oh, about what you wear to church, yes. No, God doesn't care. God doesn't look at the outward appearance. That's right. But I wouldn't go to church dressed like a total slob. Like, I will have a little bit of, I want to put on like real clothes, but I don't think it should matter if you wear jeans into church. I don't think it should. I think it's like this old school, like, or like this old mentality of like having to wear like a suit and tie to church, but I feel like that was from like a time period where people wore a suit and tie to go fly on a plane. Like, people would wear a suit and tie to like go do a lot of different things, and like church was just one of those things. God doesn't look, but the congregation sure does. Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like I wouldn't go to I don't know what churches are like in the States, but a lot of the churches that I've been to here, like a lot of them are pretty casual. So like a lot of them, they don't care if you wear jeans. Like a lot of people wear jeans to church around here. It's like normal. Hello, Kevin. Thanks for watching. Yeah, so yeah, exactly. If you've got like, I don't think that there should be such an issue made about what people wear to church. And even if someone does come to church in their pajamas, like, I would never do that. But it's like, are you gonna really make someone feel uncomfortable in church because of what they're wearing? It's like, maybe that person being in church to begin with should be more important to you than what they're wearing. That's what I think. It's like, maybe you don't know why that person is going on in their life, or why they don't feel driven to get dressed out of their pajamas in the morning before they leave the house. It's like, sure, for some people it might just be laziness. Some people might just not think that it even matters. Like, a lot of kids, like, you look at the way that kids are dressed by their parents nowadays, it's like a lot of kids are raised not having to get dressed in the morning. A lot of kids are raised where it's okay to go out in your pajamas, which I was raised where it's like, when you go out of the house, you don't go out in your pajamas, because you look like that's what you wear when you're lounging around your house. You're not doing anything. When you're leaving your house, you should be like in a mindset of like, accomplishing something for the day or whatever. Like, and I guess like getting dressed in the morning kind of is preparation of, what you choose to do with the rest of your day. But I don't think that you should be judging someone for what they wear in church, because it's more important that person's in church, I go to church in what I want, still respectful, but not slacks. Yeah, I don't wear some fancy outfit. I wear dresses when I go to church because I like to wear dresses. But if I'm riding my motorcycle, I go to church in my jeans, and sometimes my jeans look dirty. Even if they're clean, they might be stained from working in the garage with them. or sometimes they have holes in them. And most people don't seem to care. Oh, and I do like some Steve Ray Vaughan. Yes, I do. Yeah, exactly. Rayford, same here. Last week I went to church in my, well, I had black pants on. I decided not to put on my dirty, hole-covered jeans. Last week when I went to church, I was like, maybe I should try to look like I kind of care a little bit, you know? I don't know. I didn't want to, my jeans were pretty dirty though, too, so I put on my nice black pants when I went, like my black jeans. Yeah, and the things we're supposed to be like, the things that we should be concerned about are not clothing. It's like the very last thing we should be concerned about. As long as someone's dressed like decently, like covered up and not overexposing themselves, like why would you care? People can believe in what they want. I think that yeah, anyone can believe. We all have the freedom to choose to believe whatever we want. You know, no one's ever taken that away from us. And it's even like in societies where certain religions are forced, you can't actually change someone's thinking. You might change what they say, you know, but kids at school in pajamas and slippers every day. Yeah, like that's a matter of how a kid's raised. So like when you see an adult who just walks around in their pajamas, maybe they were just raised where it was just okay to always be in their pajamas, which I would not allow that. If I had kids, I would have my kids dress properly when it's time to leave the house. Sometimes I leave the house in my sweatpants or whatever, you know, like if I'm going out at nighttime or whatever, I've already like come inside and got changed into my pajamas and I need to run out to the store. Sometimes I'll go out in my sweatpants. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah. What brought me to church? My motorcycle brought me to church last week. It's really hard to find a church where you feel comfortable, I find, Jerry. What brought me to church? Okay, so I was actually raised in a Christian home. My dad became a Christian in his 20s, in his mid-20s at some point. And thank goodness, because a lot of us probably wouldn't have been born if my dad wasn't a Christian. My dad probably wouldn't be alive anymore if he hadn't become a Christian. But what brought me to church, I was raised in a Christian home, but we didn't go to church growing up. Like my parents didn't. My dad didn't go to church, mostly because of that whole like judgmental aspect that you unfortunately get from people at church if you roll up on your motorcycle and you're all in leather. So my dad stopped going to church for a few different reasons. Just which is a whole different story. But so when I was a little kid, we didn't go to church. But then when I was around like 10 or 11, then we started going, as kids started going to church to make friends. And then it wasn't until so that was kind of a big reason how come I was involved in church, was because I wanted to meet people and make friends and stuff. And I, being raised in a Christian home, I always had an idea and an understanding of who God was and who Jesus was, and who Jesus is, I should say. But then it wasn't until I got into like my 20s where I seriously started to think about it, because I was like, okay, well, I've been raised as a Christian. I've been raised reading my Bible and knowing who Jesus was and stuff, and reading about God and reading all these stories about God. But then when I was in my 20s, I was like, I was raised this way, and like, so, but what am I living my life based off of my parents' beliefs that they put on to me, or do I actually believe this for myself? So that's when I kind of just started to think of it differently. Whereas, like, rather than just being raised that way and having it as a tradition, I thought, like, okay, well, do I actually believe this for myself? Or am I just living this way because I was raised that way and it's what I'm used to and it's like more tradition? And I knew that I believed it. I knew I believed it, but I knew that me believing it and understanding it for myself and not just based off of what I was raised with meant it had to mean something more than just an understanding of it in my head. It had to be something that actually affected my life and my heart. So, after thinking about it that way, I decided that, yeah, I do believe this. It is something I believe for myself. And then it was like, okay, well, so if I believe in God and the God of the Bible, do I believe it as history or do I just believe it as a fairy tale? So, I kind of came to the realization, I guess, myself, that I believe it is truth, as history. I believe that Jesus is God. He came to earth as a man, died for our sins, and he rose again on the third day, and that he's Lord over all, and that it's only through him that we can make it, that we have any access to God or to heaven. And I guess it wasn't until I was in my 20s where that actually all kind of connected in my mind. And now I go to church not just for a social thing. I really want to go to church to be convicted and to learn more, like to be taught more, like deeply, like to have a deeper understanding of my faith, which you get that from your Bible and from studying your Bible, yes, but it also, there's a different aspect of that that comes from actually like interacting and socializing with other Christians, where you kind of have like a group of people that kind of you hold each other accountable, and you hear just like different um uh different views, I guess you can say, or different experiences through life and stuff that make you just understand your faith in a different way. So that's kind of what brings me to church. Now, Gerald, that's like a really long answer to your question, but I have some questions you can't just answer simply or whatever. So hypocritical. So Ron says, so hypocritical. A lot of the churches I've been to, because of the judgment others have cast on others, because of how they look or not have a nice car or couldn't afford nice clothes. It's so sad. And Ron, I totally agree with you, and I think that that's one big failure of the church, is that they have spent, like, that they have allowed that part of the world to, like, to kind of infect the church, whereas, like, the church, like, you should not be getting rich off of the gospel. Like, the gospel, Jesus's sacrifice was a free, grace is a free gift to everybody who's willing to receive it. God's grace, Jesus' sacrifice, is a free gift for everybody who's willing to receive it. So for pastors to be preaching the gospel, which should be a free gift given to all, and getting rich from it, is like, that is a crime in my mind. And like, sure, if your life is devoted to the gospel, there's nothing wrong with being like living, like being able to like feed yourself or whatever. Like, if you devote all of your time in your life to preaching the gospel, there's nothing wrong with having the support of your church and whatever to be able to like feed your home, feed your family, and like pay your bills and stuff like that. But you should not be getting rich. Like, the pastor should not be buying a mansion on the hill and like raking in this massive doctor's amount of paycheck when a bunch of his congregation's going to the food bank. Like, that's wrong. And yeah, I agree with you on that, Ron, that it's just it's not right. And yeah, we are the church, it's not a building. But you know what though? The church is made up of people, and people are all sinful. So that's something that, like, I always say is like, don't look, it's sad, like the world, like people in the world, people who aren't Christians, when I say people in the world, like people who aren't Christians, they should be able to look at the church for their example of Christianity, but unfortunately, like, you can't these days. And it talks about a lot of that, like that's what all Paul's letters to the churches, he wrote those letters because the church wasn't being the example that it was meant to be. But that is something, I guess I would say, is like a mistake of people who criticize Christianity, is they criticize Christianity based on what the churches are doing and what the people in the churches are doing. When in reality, if you want an example of what Christianity is, you shouldn't be looking at the people who call themselves Christians, even though you should be able to. But your ultimate example of Christianity should be Jesus. And then if you look at Jesus as your example for Christianity, then you will see the pure and like the undefiled version of Christianity, like what Christianity is really meant to be. And that's where, like, if you have like problems with Christians in the church because of what you've seen them do, the people in the church do, look at Jesus's example, and then make your decision about Christianity based off of Jesus and what he did. And yeah, that was actually a good conversation I had with the guy that I just went and met for coffee. We talked a lot, actually, just about the church and like Christianity and stuff like that, because he's gone to church like a few times or whatever with his roommate, but he doesn't call himself a Christian, I guess. But we had a really good conversations about, and I'm not like the best person to really talk about this stuff because I think I could know a lot more just about like I've actually, I'm not very good at like expressing the stuff that I even do know. So I'm not really the best person to talk to kind of get information with, but I can tell you how I feel and like what I believe and what I know from the Bible. Hi, bye, Gavin. Have a good night. Have a good night, Robert. And yeah, hello, Tommy, Jimberry, and everybody else. And Gerald, I'm glad that Gerald, I'm glad that I kind of gave you a bit of an acceptable answer there. And I gotta make sure that screw doesn't end up back in the driveway. And I gotta put some wood on my fire because it is getting cold. So, yeah, I don't know. I like talking about the Bible and stuff like that. I don't mind sharing my opinion on like the church and Christianity and things like that. And I actually would like some of my videos to be able to be more like that, like maybe like have a live stream that I do where it's like we can kind of talk about that stuff. I don't want to, well, I shouldn't say, well, I mean, in some sense, I feel like I don't want to scare too many people off my channel, but then in the other sense, if what I believe scares people away, then so be it, because it's not going to change the way that I believe. I'm not going to be quiet about my beliefs for the sake of, well, anybody really. So if it makes some of you uncomfortable, I guess what I'm trying to say is maybe it makes you uncomfortable for a reason that you need to ask yourself why. Someone else's beliefs shouldn't make you uncomfortable, in my opinion. Greed, I think it probably is a mental illness. Um, so it's nice to see, like, when I first started, hello, George. When I first started, talking about, like, my beliefs on my channel, I think the very first time I mentioned that, uh, the very first time I mentioned that I was a Christian was I think my first Christmas, uh, um, episode that I did. Like, I just, like, it was a 5-minute video or something like that where I wished everybody a Merry Christmas. And I was like, I'm not going to talk about Christmas and then not talk about the reason that we even have Christmas, which is Jesus. It doesn't matter what you believe. The reason why we have Christmas is because of Jesus. And so that was the first time I ever talked about my beliefs on my channel. And and then it was just like, it was kind of like shocking to me that there was so many Christians who actually watched my channel. And I feel like the more that the more that I kind of make that known, the more that those people seem to come out of the woodwork, which is cool. So it's cool that there's a lot of people on my channel that watch, that are Christians. And these fireside lives that I do, I've always thought that makes me think of, I don't know if any of you know who Dennis Prager is, or PragerU, or whatever. So there's Dennis Prager. He's not a Christian. I think he might be Jewish. I don't know if he's Jewish or not. I don't even know if he's religious, honestly. But he does like these fireside chats where he'll just kind of he'll answer people's questions and stuff like that. And he's like he's like an old man. Like, I would say that he's probably kind of wise or whatever. And he's conservative in his thinking and stuff like that. So he was always interesting just to listen to his viewpoints on certain things. But this kind of reminds me of that, doing these fireside lives. Yeah, I kind of wanted to start, maybe, I didn't know if I should start a separate channel that talk about Christian stuff or just have certain episodes, but I did kind of want to make an episode one of these times I would have to do a bit of research on. Aw, Jerry, that's good. I did want to make an episode on my channel and just kind of talk about the maybe I shouldn't actually say that idea, because I should just do it and not talk about it. Sorry, guys. So, I think that people who get angry when someone professes their faith proves the angry person does not have any beliefs. They have contrary beliefs. Dennis is Jewish. He is now paralyzed. What? Oh my gosh. Gabagool, thanks. Glad you like my hair. Oh my gosh, paralyzed from the neck down? I do know who Charlie Kirk is. Yeah, yeah, I kind of, that's crazy that Dennis Prager's paralyzed now. What happened to him? I'm gonna have to, like, look that up, I guess. I haven't actually listened to or watched any of his stuff for, like, quite some time. So, yeah. Yeah, that's no good. Well, guys, it's, getting dark here. And, see, I do notice when I start to talk about my beliefs, a lot of people drop off the live stream, which is okay by me. Like, it doesn't bother me. But I'm going to show you guys what I've been working on here in a little bit, after I warm up next to the fire for a while. Thanks, Ron. Yeah, I would like to talk more about that kind of stuff if people want to. Well, I mean, I just kind of let it happen naturally. Actually, I kind of just let the conversation happen naturally more than, hi, Dirty Knobs. Hello, Craig. Yeah, normally if it's gonna happen, it'll just happen naturally. I don't ever like plan. I'm not gonna like sit down and plan to teach anybody anything because I don't think I'm in a position to teach anybody anything, anyways. Thanks, Bruce. But I think you guys, I think it's really cool that a lot of you guys are actually do share my beliefs and stuff in to whatever degree you might. I think I need to like move this. I feel like this is gonna be really hot. Whoopsies. I like ran over my fire pit one time in my truck, so the lid's like really messed up now. And I'm gonna put more wood on here because this is burning pretty good. And I'm gonna let this burn a little bit. And then I'm gonna show you guys what I'm working on. I've been doing this. Okay, Trev, see you later. Have a good day. Do you need a caliper? Your 90s Sportster? I think normally the Sportsters, because they're narrow glide, I think are 39 millimeter fork tubes. So someone can correct me if they think I'm wrong. You should be able to just Google it. There'll only be two sizes. It's a wide glide. I think there's only two sizes, 44 millimeter or 39 millimeter. I'm pretty sure the narrow glide is a 39 millimeter. And do you need calipers to check that? I mean, like, I normally use calipers. You might be able to use a measuring tape or a ruler because it'll be, like, it should be easy enough to tell what the size are because, like, there is only a couple sizes. Like, I'm pretty sure there's only 39 mil or 44 mil. But if you go to any shop, like even if you went to, I don't know if you have like a bike shop near you, they should be able to just measure them for you with calipers if you want to know like exactly what size they are, but it shouldn't be too hard to tell. Like what are you trying to get? Are you trying to get parts for it? Like fork seals or something like that? And yes, I've been doing this for 3 years. Dirty Knobs. Thanks, Ron. Oh, good night, Journey of Jerry. Have a good night. The ones that dropped off are gonna miss what I'm working on. Yeah, that's fine. I do wrench. Yes, I do. When will I do what again? The live stream? Or what's that, Vince? Yeah, I don't think there's Sportster. That's what I'm saying. I think, Rayford, I think that the all Sportster forks are 39 millimeter because Sportsters all used a narrow glide front end. So I'm pretty sure they're all. Okay, guys, I'm trying to like, I don't know if I need glasses, but like, okay. Trying to like not be looking away from everybody all the time. And be able to also read your comments. Maybe I just need to turn my screen brightness up a bit. There we go. Yeah, I'm gonna try to do live streams every Sunday night. And I don't know. We can talk about bikes, we can talk about Harley, we can talk about talk about bikes, we can talk about the Bible, we can talk about whatever people want to talk about. Or however the conversation ends up going. I usually just read you guys' comments and then have like total ADD and talk about 10 different things in like 5 minutes. Yeah, they're all 39 millimeter. They should all be 39 millimeter. I think my dad. No, my dad's not commenting. That's Jeff. I thought you were my dad's picture when I first looked because of the beard. Oh, it's okay, Jeff. Yeah, some of you have been here since the beginning, and I know that for sure. Lower fork. So you're looking for the lower fork, and a rebuild kit. Well, yeah, it should all be 39 millimeter. But most places, so here's something. I don't know if you're ordering them online. There's a site called Fort9, which I order parts from because they ship from Canada. But if you want to order them online, you can put in, like, look for your part or whatever on there. If you don't want to order them from that site, you can still go to their site, look for your part, and then it'll make you put in your vehicle year, make, and model, and then it'll tell you whether or not the part you're looking at will actually fit your motorcycle, so you can at least get the part number that way. Even if you don't order from that site, you can at least get the part number, and then you have a part number to bring to whatever shop you might order through, or just use wherever you're going to order your parts from anyways. That's the only site that I really order parts from because everything else ships from the US. So it doesn't make sense for me to try to order parts from them because I can get them a shop to order them and then I don't have to pay the shipping. So that's what you could try to do. But yeah, your fork should be 39 millimeter. Hi, Rust Dog. Older Sporties are 35 millimeter. Hold on here. The original Super Glide was simply an F. I grafted with a Sportster front end and it sold like hotcakes. FL. Oh, okay. The older Sporties, Tommy says, are 35 millimeter. The earlier 30 millimeter have single piston dual discs and the dual piston caliper. 39 millimeters are single disc except roadsters. Okay, so Tommy knows what he's talking about, which I clearly do not know very much about Sportsters, but I think Tommy's been riding Sportsters for a long time, so. Cool, Ron. Yeah, I'll try to make Sunday a live stream night. I can't guarantee that that'll be every Sunday because Sunday, we have family dinners and stuff, they normally end up being on Sundays too because it's just the day that works best for everybody. I did not talk about the three-wheeler co-bar, but I was saying that video, not a lot of people seem to want to watch videos that are about like Japanese motorcycles and stuff on my channel. So it seems like the Harley videos people watch, but every time I have a video about my Yamahas, they don't really get watched much. And even that Honda, like, I don't know, I watched that video and I don't really, like, a lot of times I watch my videos and I'm really critical of them, which is probably not a bad thing. But I watched that Honda video and I thought it was a kind of a fun video to watch, but not really a lot of people are watching it. When you first built your shovel, you put a springer on it. You didn't have a front brake. After your fourth wreck, you took the insurance money and put a Sportster front end on it with a dual brakes. Oh, yeah. 39 millimeter was Sportster and FXR. Okay, so Tommy's saying that the earlier, I'm guessing the Ironhead Sportsters were 35 millimeter. I can't say anything. I'm not gonna, I don't know enough about Sportsters to know for sure. Randy, I haven't even looked at your pictures yet. I'm gonna have to get into my email in the morning and check that out. So yours are single piston Showa chromed lowers. I didn't know Showa was still making front ends for Harley in the 90s. I guess they would have been though. For less than $1 zillion. Oh man. Oh, wanted us right dual disc 39mm fork leg forever. Wow, crazy. So what you're saying is those fork legs I got are worth $1 zillion? I could be rich. Could quit working altogether. Adios, Tony. 39mm dual disc FX RT and my 2018 is a Showa. Okay, so Showa still makes. I don't know. See, I don't know everything, guys. I never said I knew everything, but some people thought that I knew more than I do. So that's not my fault because I never said I knew anything. Yeah, I wish my brothers could be more involved. My brother Sandy doesn't live here though. Hello, Gutardila. I cannot say your however your name is. Open a church. I'm not about to open a church, but I will keep church hopping. Ciao, Bella. Oh, ciao. Are you leaving then? I think the early sporties weren't Showa. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know. I don't actually know. I need to, like, that does kind of interest me more, the history and stuff like that of Harley and, like, how their bikes changed and progressed over time and stuff like that. And it's definitely useful information. There's a lot of people who look for that kind of information. Like when different parts and stuff like kind of were changed over time and stuff like that. Sandy is like, I think it's like a 10-hour drive to get to Sandy from me. The early dual disc 39mm front ends had 2 single piston calipers. The dual piston later style 39 legs are different. The late 39mm bikes have 11.5-inch discs, and the early dual disc 39s were 10-inch disc. Oh man, Tommy's just got all the info. Hello, Matt. All is well over here. Just having my little fireside chat, fireside hangout live, and talking about front ends, Sportster front ends to be precise. And Tommy is schooling us all because he's the Sportster guy in the chat. So, dual disc will stop you on a dime. I've never had a dual disc anything. Dual disc front end. No, I've never ridden any bike with a dual disc actually. Yeah, the Sportster behind me here, the white one, is single disc. That's a 2007, or it's the 50th anniversary, so I think that was 2007. Tommy knows his Sportsters. I think Tommy has always ridden Sportsters, haven't you? I know he's sworn by them a lot over the months in my videos and on the comments. They're good bikes, I've heard. I've never heard a bad thing about a Sportster, actually. And everybody who has them loves them. Hello, Adbunky, BJ. Can you put a dual disc on a 2003 Sportster? You probably could if they're both 39 millimeters. Maybe you would have to, if the triple trees don't fit on the, into the neck, maybe you could just change the triple tree. Yeah, I don't know. Do some people think that Manitoba map is shaped like a folded pair of men's boxers? I've never actually looked at it like that. Good evening, Exan Biker. If you have $1 zillion for the right disc brake, then you can put a dual disc. That's what Tommy's trying to get at here. He wants to put a dual disc on a 2003 Sportster. So it's gonna be a war for that right side front brake leg. Is my front end on my Sportster dual disc? What years did they have the dual disc, Tommy? Okay, I've got an 89 Sportster chassis, rolling chassis. I should probably just pick my phone up and show you guys around my shop now. Even though I did, I don't think mine's dual disc. I feel like Tommy would have been all over that in my last video that I did, where I showed that bike. An Ontario friend told you that about Manitoba. Dealing with older bikes can be an everything fits, nothing fits thing. You should be told about Sportster. Sportster. Never heard of it. Okay, I'm gonna pick my phone up and show you guys my shop. If I can flip my camera around, it'll turn a light on. My shop that is now full of smoke. So, okay, so mine's not dual disc, but Tommy, just you wait. Just you wait and see there, Tommy. The history of the bikes is super interesting at a time when the K models stopped shortly after this. Yeah, I do want to, the research is the thing. Okay, so this is my Sportster project that I'm currently, well, I will be working on right away. I've not started anything on it yet. This, I just want to build up and sell. I want to spend the least amount of money I need to on this thing. I don't want to buy any unnecessary parts. I just want to replace whatever needs to be replaced and whatever, and then just sell it as is. And then this is my Yamaha. This is my red Yamaha that was my little service bike anyways. What year is this? It's an 89 chassis, 92 motor. Something like that. I think that's what the VINs said. Anyways, and this is my Yamaha, which I've completely stripped. So this was my little, like, it looked like a cafe racer. I was calling it my service bike for a while there, and it looked really cool. It was my Road Warrior machine. And this is my pile of parts for the Yamaha. So all of this came off of the Yamaha. It's the muffler. This is the seat that was on there. I just took it off. My monoshock back in there. I got a bucket of my lights and whatever. My original air cleaner. I got the original seat there. I've taken the front end apart completely because I need to redo the fork seals. And I'm going to check the bearings and all that. I just took the bearings out. I've not actually checked them. And then my front wheels, my tires are bad, but they're obviously not dirt tires anyways. So I've got new tires on these rims here. This is off of the trials bike that I bought that the frame's kind of toast on. Hello, Danny. So I'm going to take the tires from the trials bike rims and put them onto my dirt bike. And I'm going to put the monoshock and everything back in. I'm going to basically convert this back. I'm gonna get there, Dad. I'm just looking at this stuff first. So I'm gonna basically turn this back into a dirt bike, which I've kind of just been like sad about doing recently. Let me wipe my lens a bit. Because, yeah, I just haven't known about whatever, it's happening. But anyways, Tommy, look at this. I've got the coveted $1 zillion right side leg. This is, because this is an 80, oh, what year is this? It's early 80s anyways. I think this is like the last year. This is 81, I think is this one. And then my other engine, I believe, is 79. So that engine actually, like, you see how rusty the exhaust ports are? I thought this engine was going to be in bad shape, but I put a bore scope in there, and this engine actually still has the cross hatching in the cylinders, I believe, if my memory serves me correctly. So it almost looked like someone like rebuilt that motor and then just never actually did anything with it. But I know that the guy who I bought this all off of, he had that motor as a spare because there was... Oh. I don't have the $1 zillion legs. Okay, well, mine are half $1 zillion then. Okay, well, I guess so much for my gloating. And this was... Yeah, so there's something wrong with this motor, apparently. Yeah, so I thought I was going to have the $1 zillion legs. HD did make a dual disc kit for the 2000-2003 Sportster. HD part number is 44090-00. Shoot, I was hoping to make Tommy jealous. Just kidding, I was just hoping to make $1 zillion off of you. The stock bike came with single piston calipers. Okay, well, I still have dual disc front legs, but just for the 10-inch, I guess. Anyway, guys, this is my current project, which I'm hoping I don't need too many parts for this. I definitely need a new chain. Because this chain, like the O-rings in it are all falling out. And, yeah. Anyways, the HD legs are discontinued. Shoot. Yeah, I'm hoping it's not way too tall for me when by the time I'm done converting it back into a dirt bike, because that is gonna not be good. And then my trials bike, I don't really know what's gonna happen with this thing, guys. It needs so much work. Yeah, I don't know. And then my shovel head. I feel like I shouldn't be showing you guys all this stuff, because you guys should just go watch my other video that I put out and nobody watched. Yeah, my shovel head is officially off the road too. Insurance ran out today. And my Dyna is officially still on the road. So I was riding that today. And whoever gave me that super chat, I just noticed that it was $4.20. So, good job. So yeah. Take my trials bike to the Isle of Man. Well, I just need to actually get my trials bikes going, is what I need to do. But, guys, that is my shop. That's what I'm working on. Oh, in Washington. That's not even that too far, Randy. I will, yeah, hit you up. I don't know if you've emailed me before, but maybe I'll just do a shout out in one of my videos when I'm actually getting into the Sportster. Then I'll hit you up if I do. If I do need parts. So yeah, guys, fire, bikes, Angel, and it is cold out here. It's officially fall. Actually was officially the first day of fall, like what, 2 weeks ago? I don't know. But yeah, it's kind of chilly out. It's nice to have a fire. What purple crown things? Which purple crown things? Which purple crown things do you mean? Yeah, I do have a lot to do. Tiny is probably sleeping somewhere. He's been sleeping all day. Yeah, normally he'd be out here with me, but I haven't even seen him for like since I got home on my bike. Yeah, hi Tiny. Yeah, I'll say hi to everybody. My dad's probably watching. Oh, the purple crowns. I think it's like a new thing YouTube's doing, like chat score. Like, I don't know, whoever has posted the most in the chat somehow. I'm not too sure. So, hello, Aaron. Yeah, comment rating. I don't know where. I don't know how they rate the commenters, but it's like a new thing. It's not something that I don't really pay attention to anyways, because it doesn't, I don't judge people by the amount they comment or don't comment. Apparently YouTube does so. My mom is still around, yes. If you have a 2003 and earlier Sporty Tommy says you can use your stock master cylinder with the PM 6-pot caliber. Go for and later you need a 916 MC. Trying to. The bird I used to have, I had my crow flew away like quite some time ago, like a year ago now, which is good because I didn't want to have like, they're a lot of work. You can't just leave them. Like, they're a lot of work to have around. So I wanted him to go back. I wanted him to go be a bird. Like, that's the life that he deserves. It's the life he should have. So yeah. Whoopsies. Yeah. So my bird left quite some time ago. He is a free bird now, yeah. But guys, I think it's about time to end this live stream because it's getting pretty cold out here. And I've been on for quite some time. So I appreciate all you guys popping in. S'mores. I don't really like s'mores. I'm not a s'mores person. I like steaks on the fire. I need steaks on the fire. But anyways, guys, thanks for coming in. Sorry to everybody who popped in a little late. But stay tuned for the next live stream. I'm going to be trying this every Sunday. I'm not going to promise it to be every Sunday because Sundays are like the only day that my family ever gets a chance to get together too, if we all are getting together. But I'm not going to promise every Sunday, but I'm going to try for every Sunday. So keep that in mind, guys. And yeah, guys, thanks for coming in and thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking it out, guys, with all my talk about my beliefs and everything else. And I hope you all have a good night. And God bless you all. And yeah, thanks for being here to support me. And I'll see you all in the next live stream or in the next video. So thanks, guys. And I'll talk to you all again. Catch you all on the flip side. Thanks for all the Sportster info, Tommy.